I think for young people, watching TV is more like a chore. It's like the weird old people stuff. But I think it will change eventually.
For the young people, that is important that they know that their interests and problems are valid.
The AI-made content, it's getting harder and harder to recognize it because the videos and pictures are just so realistic. It's not pushing us away, but it definitely makes our job in the future a lot harder.
It is also possible to talk to young people about serious issues like they are grown-ups.
Welcome everyone, my name is Līga Ozoliņa and you are listening Media and Society podcast. These episodes are a platform for in-depth conversations about ways people experience, think and feel about media. Aimed for professionals and media scholars, the podcast explores the diverse relationship between media, journalism and audiences in two Baltic states, Latvia and Estonia. Episode 10. Who are future journalists? Journalism students in Latvia and Estonia. In our previous episodes, we have talked with professional journalists, editors, media scholars, journalism researchers, sociologists, media policy makers, and media audience members. At some point in all of these conversations, we have reached the point where we start to talk about future of journalism. And today, we will continue this discussion by adding a perspective of those who have just started their journey in this field. Therefore, I'm very grateful that I have three guests today. Mariss Priekulis, a third-year journalism student at Rīga Stradiņš University, and Anette, Marie Volt, and Annaliisa, Karu, both second-year journalism and communication students at Tartu University in Estonia. Hello and welcome. Let's start. And in the beginning, most probably we all want to know, why did you choose to study journalism?
I started studying journalism because I always loved writing, and also I love the diversity of journalism as a field. We are doing with Annaliisa, we're doing a podcast in our free time, and I also write in a student paper.
And Annaliisa, can you add something from your side?
I also love how diverse journalism is because there is a lot of ways where you can go. You can write or you can do radio or podcasts. I also had an internship in the summer in the radio news. So a full month I got to do news and work with my voice.
I'd like to say that journalism was one only option when I started to study, and also right now I am sure that that was the right choice. First grade, I started to write a newspaper. Then later there was, some shadowing days in Latvian television, and right now also from the first year, I am also working at Latvian television, Latvian radio, of course. That's part-time job, but yes, I am also there.
Is there also some values that you thought about when you entered these studies? How did you think about journalism when you started the studies or when you applied for journalism studies?
From today's perspective, I can see this platform, of course, gives you the voice to, for example, analyze, to somehow enlighten maybe a topic, a problem that is not enough enlightened in our today's society. And I think that's the highest value of journalism.
Yeah, Annaliisa, do you have anything to add to this?
Right now, in the social media, there is a lot of false information, and a lot of young people, their first news source is maybe TikTok or Instagram, not news. And I think it's problematic. So professional journalism and checked facts are more important right now in the world.
Is there also something that scares you about this profession or pushes away from this profession or repels from this profession?
With social media getting more popular and young people are moving there to get the news, it's also helping for false information to spread faster. And AI usage is also helping for it to spread. And as a journalist, we have to know how to recognize the AI-made content. And it's getting harder and harder to recognize it because the videos and pictures are just so realistic. It's not pushing us away, but it definitely makes our job in the future a lot harder.
But how it will make harder?
I don't think we really know how to recognize it, or it's not taught in schools or even at university. You don't really know. You just have to feel it. You have like these controllers that you can put your text in and it controls if it's made by AI. It's just so much used in like social media and different platforms that you can't like always control every fact. And it gets harder by that. We also do fact controls, but if there's more and more information, then you have to do more fact controls and it all takes time. So it slows us in the process, which has to be cut over, I think, yeah.
I think that AI pushes our way from being a journalist. I think it's nowadays really important to think how we can make the news attractive to young people and how we can reach this type of audience.
Just to continue with Annaliisa and Annette, I would also like to highlight that I have thought about this young audience, and my question is that whether when this young, for example, Gen Z audience will get older, will they somehow turn to television, turn to radio, or this media usage through the social media will stay with them also in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s? And this is something that we can only speculate about. But answering to your question, I also wanted to highlight the accountability, also responsibility, also in this very AI age that of course there are so different news sources that the journalist has to somehow fulfill this target and also show to audience that he's trustworthy, the news organization is trustworthy. For example, I know that the Sky News, which is based in the UK, they start every single article on their website with the short paragraph box, why you can trust us. And they are, some 2-3 bullet points of strong, hard evidence. So, and I think that also somehow shows to us. And to continue with Annette, that you said regarding this AI, I also thought about that journalists would have somehow to improve, somehow also to show that I am more like AI, like I am smarter than AI, because I also can see that there would be some rivalry between AI and journalists. So yeah.
You mentioned that you have felt editorial office life and how it is to be in media organization, but how do you see your professional life and future in 5 years, maybe in 10 years? What might change, how it might change?
I see myself working in the same field, of course, but hopefully not only as a writer for some company or something. I really like doing different projects and also see myself continuing doing the same in the future. Maybe teaching at school for like a media course.
I have very big passion for journalism, and lately I have discovered my interest for audiovisual media, so I really would love to work like doing radio news or like some podcasts or something in the TV. But I also love writing, so I would love to be a journalist who can do all. I think I would like to do a work where like every day is different and you go to work and you don't know what to expect or what is coming. I think as a young journalist, I also want to change the world and make it a better place and write important stories that literally can change something in a positive way.
Annaliisa said that I also, of course, agree with her that I somehow want to change something. And I think one way to do that is through the analytic journalism, through this part of journalism. And also I can see that in the next years, I will try to pursue my career there. But also I would like to somehow, for example, specialize in some sector, for example, in economics or maybe even in geography. with connection to the journalism, because also I think that these two points that we specialize maybe somewhere in some sphere is also something that AI cannot do right now. And AI cannot, for example, go on a Vox Pop interview on the streets or maybe contact some experts. It is not its abilities for right now. So I think that is also a sphere to be.
You all mentioned this need, or you would like to change something in the society, reveal maybe something important. But do you think that audience needs that? How do you see this relationship between media, journalists, and audiences today? How do you see your audience?
Maybe it's not the exact answer that you're looking for, but people will be maybe more cautious about what they comment for journalists, and also like with the social media and AI, and people are more skeptical. That I felt myself, and people think about more what they comment for journalists or what they post on social media, and in the long run it is actually important, and like people are thought about it, think about it more, but for journalists it makes our jobs easier and harder at the same time, because people know more what's wrong and what to post or what to not to post, but also it's like harder because people don't want to comment on some things because everything just goes around so fast. So it makes our audience harder to get to.
I think that also nowadays media listeners and watchers also, they have high demands of quality of media output. And also, I think that is something that we need to address. I'm working in the sports journalism sector more. You can see that watchers and listeners, they are really good at sports. And sometimes, you have to be, of course, somehow smarter. You have to know some more facts, some more information. And also, that is somehow a motivation to become better, to deliver your audience the best quality that it is possible at this very moment.
What is your relationship with professional media? What are your media usage habits? What media do you consume on everyday basis? How do you get the information apart from professional life, apart from your work, you as individuals? How do you consume media?
In my case, I try to read, not of course everything, but I'm trying different media platforms. I sometimes watch Panorama, which in Estonia is known like Aktuaalne Kamera, I think, something like that. And sometimes I also buy a newspaper to really know with a feeling what is going on there. But mostly, yes, these are the national media in Latvia, national digital media in Latvia, and also, of course, the international media.
I also try to read news from different pages to get diverse summary of what is going on in the world, and especially in Estonia. Me myself, I am active social media user. Sometimes I see like news topic or articles on the social media, and I get the push to go and read real and full article. And I also really like to listen to podcasts.
Well, there has been my first year of university, I actually was watching the news in the evening. But right now, there is just no time for that. Maybe sometimes when I drive with my car for the long trips, I put on radio and listen to that because I was in internship in radio. So I really like to listen to the same radio station. I know how it works. And it's like convenient to use your time when you're traveling and you can listen to the radio. Something that Annaliisa said about social media was something that I wanted to comment on. In social media, there are people that comment on a Facebook page or in Twitter. They comment on something that has been published by an actual broadcasting station or newspaper. And they comment and they say what they think about this. And I think that's actually helping us as journalists a little bit because people are still getting engaged with the topics.
You mentioned that you don't have time to watch news shows on TV, but at the same time, you consume the content digitally online. You still spend your time. So, what's in your mind? Why you think that watching TV takes more time?
I think for young people, watching TV is more like a chore. It's like the weird old people stuff. but I think it will change eventually. I have started watching the morning shows in Estonia, which has been eye-opening, and it's really early. It's like 6 or 7 a.m. News you can read when you have little time between lectures or something, but you don't open up to like yesterday's news at 9 p.m. the next day. It feels like you have to actually be there at the like right time, or you have to like look it up or something, and it kind of feels like maybe if I do it the next day, the news are already old.
Online news, it's really easy to read because you read them on your computer, on your phone, and it's really accessible. But maybe like the TV show you want to watch on a bigger screen maybe, and you really need to have the time and place to listen and watch at the same time and also focus and remember something. But online news, you can just read. It's really comfortable, I think.
I also think that people they can choose what they read, because when you get the push notifications on your phone or on your watch, you can see what's the main thing about, but news, you have to sit through all of it. And maybe there are some like topics that you don't really care about, or you don't have the time to sit there for half an hour.
And also, I think that it is possible to say that that as Annette and Annaliisa said, that, for example, they can be producers of actual camera and panorama. They can put these stories in the time that is suitable for them. And I think at this very situation, it is at a great importance that these media channels, these new bulletins publishes this every single story, for example, on YouTube, for example, on their webpage. Maybe yes, in different ways. Maybe we cannot count this very large audience in this usual linear news broadcast, but through different channels we can go to this very audience.
How do you think, what are the topics that young audiences nowadays are interested in? What is important for you or people in your bubbles?
I think there are a lot of topics that the young people are interested in. Mental health is really important. And I think for the young people that is important that they know that their interests and problems are valid, and the news can show that, yes, like we see and hear you and you are important. So the young people feel like they are worthy in this society. Yeah, but there are a lot of topics like politics. We had national elections in Estonia, so a lot of newspapers and media producers also focus their content to young people. For example, Delphi, the series 16 plus, where they invited the young politicians. The young people watched that and waited for new episodes. They were about 12 minutes long.
Sometimes it is really good to understand that that this content should not be somehow easier or modern. It is also possible to talk to young people about serious issues like they are grown-ups, and also I think that is something that we should take into account talking and thinking about youth programs in public media and youth, for example, social media content. And also I'd like to add that maybe talking about this youth audience, this transition from the age of 18 to 21, 22, this transition to the big life, and maybe somehow media should help these young people to adjust. We can, for example, talk about some skills which are like do-it-yourself skills, which can, of course, help into our new lives, or maybe how to cook something for students. To really think about these sectors which are with like every day with us.
Yeah, I agree with that. Teaching the youngsters like basic life skills or like basic stuff that people think is normal to already know, but it like maybe doesn't get to young people as much as it maybe could.
You all mentioned that you see yourself in this profession in the future, that you would like to be storytellers and work in different formats. But do you see that media organizations really wait for you, that you are expected there, and that they are open to invite you in their offices, and that they are ready for maybe your new ideas, fresh perspectives, your knowledge, and your sense of audience and what it needs.
From my experience, I only had one internship previous summer, and I think as a young person, it can be scary at first to like go to a big company. There are people that have a lot of experience, but right now I see different media companies in Estonia are more and more involving and engaging with young journalists and young journalist students. For example, the media company called Õhtuleht did a new platform, especially for young people, and in the platform there also work a few students from our university that are currently studying journalism. They want to reach young audiences and also involve young journalists.
Yeah, I think the Õhtuleht example is exactly the one we're looking for, kind of, because they did, for young people, they did a platform in their own news platform. And they really, when we talked with them, they really wanted to know our perspective. The people that do this are also young, but they have already been in this field, and they were really open to hear our thoughts and how we would solve some problems or some publishing things. And I think our ideas are appreciated in this field, in this example at least, yeah.
But overall feeling about Estonian media environment?
Well, overall, I think young journalists are welcomed in this field. And when I thought about our talk today, I would even say that it is easy to get an internship or jobs in this field in Estonia if we're passionate about it. They want young people. They want young people's opinions. They are ready to hear you out, and also like put something from their own like thoughts alongside yours. And I think it makes like a good mix together. Like there are people that have already worked in the field, and there are young people who come with new ideas, and they listen to them, and they also like maybe pitch in some other ideas. And overall, yes, I think the field is quite welcoming.
From the Latvian perspective talking, I would really highlight Latvian Television Media Academy, which has been working for some approximately 3 to 5 years. And also every autumn they have this new class of these media
new intake.
Yeah. Exactly, new intake. And they are quite a lot, approximately some 25, 30 really, young media, not maybe professionals, but they are becoming professionals, and also working at Latvian television. It is really great to see that they are even younger people than me, who are running through these corridors looking for some place to shoot them some amazing content which would do very well on for example on social media. And also when I'm at Latvian Television Sports Department, I can also say that our editor-in-chief really likes to talk about us, about new ideas, about new ways how to attract with the audience, because of course we have these traditional values. For example, this sports studio which is aired every Monday evening and so on. But we have to work to broaden our audience, and I think that every idea in of course also these meetings is valuable, is listened to, and it also really means a lot to these young professionals that they are heard. Of course, maybe the ideas can be somehow adjusted to the good side, but I think that yes, they are heard. And as Annette said, you have to be passionate, and if you have this very component, that I think the sky is the limits in this very.
Okay, most probably we can put an end here. So I wish you not to lose the passion you have at the moment about this profession. And I really think that during this discussion, you highlighted a couple of ways how media organizations might change or what they might change in their attitudes or understanding about their audience. So once again, I want to thank Mariss Priekulis, Annette Volt, and Annaliisa Karu for joining me today on this podcast episode. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
This podcast is recorded at Rīga Stradiņš University Multimedia Studio and is part of a research project making sense of media, a non-media centric and open-ended approach to the study of media-related experiences and perceptions. It is funded by the RSU Internal and External Consolidation Project.